5, 6.
All douches are not alike.
I recommend it and use it.
Welcome, Tiki Creeps, to the first official episode of Dark Paradise.
That's right. Thanks to all of your support and the love you've shown for the live pilot, the network has decided to pick us up for a full season.
Yes, salamat to all of you Tiki Creeps, and a huge thank you to the network, WCRP TV Kansas City, for allowing us to do this creepy thing and keep being tiki with all of you. So thanks.
I'm ready.
Me too. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. We hope you have your paranormal passports. Leave your skepticism at the door, because we're going on a terrifying trip to Thailand. Thailand. Love Thailand. Do you know anything about Thailand?
I know Thailand food or Thai food to those in the know.
Yeah, most people I think know it as Thai food, but yes, the Thailand food is pretty damn delicious. I'd say it's probably one of my favorites. Yeah.
Thai food?
Uh-oh.
More like win food. Wink.
Did you just say wink?
Yeah.
Like you said wink as you winked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Thailand, like many of the oceanic islands and Southeast Asian countries that we're going to be exploring here on Dark Paradise, they're very, very superstitious. Even though they're predominantly Buddhist now.
Yeah, something like 93% of the population. It's like second only to, I think, China.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Even though they're predominantly Buddhist now, they still have these long-standing animist beliefs. And those are the ideas that all things, we're talking plants, rocks.
Rum?
What's that?
Rum?
Ooh, rum. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to do some research on that. Maybe rum. But also things like the wind and other inanimate natural objects, that they all possess a spirit. And this idea still thrives, and it informs, their decisions and the daily lives of the Thailand people, even today after thousands of years.
So, we could have gone with a full-on wet your pants, hide under the cover, sleep with the lights on story. But then Ian found something a little bit different, and I am excited.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many really creepy, really scary-ass stories in Thailand. It would have been very easy to choose those. We have got the Lai Tai, the widow ghost. We have the Pret. We have the Kraus.
Horrifying.
Holy shit. So scary.
Horrifying.
But we might go back to Thailand in a future episode and probably cover those stories then. But there was something about today's episode, the one that I chose, that just has that certain tiki appeal. It was just too good to pass up. So.
Well, before we talk about spirits, we should sip on some spirits.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Safety first.
Yeah, no, always. So, for today's Tanduay sponsored cocktail, we went with the Creepers Cove Original, something we like to call, sorry, we don't serve that here.
Please and thank you.
Happy to do it. Let's go make a cocktail.
you.
All right. So, this cocktail was an original that we created during a Return of the Living Dead Cinema Saturday viewing here at Creepers Cove. The title comes from Tarman's enthusiastic and consistent request for, you know what? Brains. Yeah, so Bones Beach owner, the owner of this bar, had to remind our dear friend Tarman that, sorry, sir, we don't serve that here. Don't serve brains. We all laughed about it, and it went on to inspire yet another delicious original cocktail from Creepers Cove.
Okay, so why did you pick this one for a Thailand episode?
Well, I think it'll become, instantly obvious once we launch into the story. Because as I was researching it and reading about this particular spirit, hold on. It's so good. So as I was researching it, for obvious reasons, it'll become immediately obvious, beyond the fact that we use Thai basil and we're doing a show about Thailand. It's the use of Hampden Estates' super funky rum fire. Now, there's a really cool quote by Kevin Beery of 3 Dots and a Dash and the Bamboo Room, where he says, a lot of rums are like sledgehammers. Some rums are scalpels. Rum fire is a sledgehammer. He says when you open a bottle, you could smell it from across the room. It's the smell of like tropical fruits and overripe bananas. He says the overall characteristic is just really, really bold. But when it's worked with properly, you end up getting really tasty flavors.
Okay, well, I'm sold. It's a great drink. Let's get super creepy.
I'm ready to get creepy. So, okay, friends, let's do this. For the Thailand episode, we'll be introducing you to the spirit of the banana tree. Alright, friends, before we launch into that much anticipated creepy tale, we must first have our sponsored spooky Surfside Sip.
That's right. Go ahead and ditch the plastic, add some class with glass.
That's right, friends. So, raise your drinks if you got them. Raise them up high. Mabu high. Take a big one, friends. Alright. Now I think we're properly prepared to jump in to the tale of the spirit of the banana tree. So, Nang Tani spirits, they're said to be young, beautiful women dressed in green traditional Thai costumes. They have long, silky hair, slim, curvaceous bodies, soft skin that, from some accounts, said to be the light greenish hue reminiscent of a banana leaf. They also have supple red lips, the color of ripe ivy gourd, and because they dwell among wild banana groves, the scent of fresh banana surrounds them. Now, cursed by karma in a previous life.
I told you karma was real.
Yeah, she says it all the time. So apparently karma is definitely a thing, especially in Thailand. So these spirits cursed by karma in a previous life, they become trapped in the banana tree. Now, Nang Tani spirits are only seen at night when the moon is full. They're known to be benevolent spirits. That is, unless provoked. Obviously, cutting down a banana tree inhabited by a Nang Tani spirit will incur their wrath, but so will being an asshole. Specifically, young men who mistreat and abuse women.
Ugh. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You're asking for it at that point.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
We've said it before, and
Come
we're going to say it again.
on.
Same here as it is in Thailand, friends.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Oh my God.
So when the Tani banana tree begins to bloom, villagers host a ceremony to pay their respects to the spirit within. They offer elaborately colored cloth, which is tied around the tree like a garment, as if to cover the spirit's body.
That's nice.
Yeah. By honoring the spirit, she will protect the villagers and bring them good fortune. Though these spirits and their tree will not bear edible fruit. See, the Tani type of banana tree does not belong to the cultivated varieties. In fact, owing to their connection to spirits and ghosts, people prefer not to grow them near their homes. Instead, they're typically found in clusters on the outskirts of villages. Pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apparently, there's advice out there, maybe on the internet somewhere, maybe you just need to go to Thailand and speak to the right people, but there is advice on how to date a Nang Tani.
Like the spirit in the tree. How to date her.
To date the spirit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A certain ritual that I have not come across, that I did not see when I was researching this tale, unfortunately. But apparently, it's said that a Nang Tani spirit can be summoned by a man who urinates on the banana tree.
Oh my god.
Just pisses on the tree. That's how you summon a Nang Tani. You know how else you summon a Nang Tani spirit? Any guesses? You don't whisper into its ear, sweet nothings. Apparently, you rub your genitals on the tree.
That doesn't work for anybody.
Try that next time, guys.
Don't rub your genitals on random things.
So, if you are fortunate to be the guy who gets to date the Nang Tani spirit, be warned, because she will require an insane amount of attention.
Same.
Yeah. She's very needy. All right. Not only will she demand offerings at her tree, she also requires loving. Loving. Yeah, and a lot of it, actually. Insatiable, one might say. And it's also said that these conjugal relations with a Nang Tani, that is the spirit, but it also is a banana tree. So conjugal relations with this banana tree, work that out on your own. I couldn't find any images in Google Images on what that looks like.
Thank God for that.
But these supposed conjugal relations that some men are having with these banana trees will actually drain a man's vitality.
Oh! One might say he's not peeling so well after a tryst with her.
It'll drain a man's vitality, leaving him a hollow, empty husk. Now, if you're ever unfaithful to a Nang Tani spirit that you've apparently been in a relationship with, well, you're immediately doomed. Because she will find you, and she will break your neck. So, that is the spirit of the banana tree. Obviously, now you can see why we chose the cocktail. Sorry, we don't serve that here. We went with the bananas that didn't bear fruit. So we chose the rum fire. We went with that cocktail with the Thai basil. All right, so what did we learn today from this story? One, don't have sex with trees. Seems like a pretty obvious thing. Just, I mean, unless there's a consensual relationship there I've never heard of, just stop fucking trees. Right? Okay. So two.
I mean, maybe don't mistreat women.
That seems fair. That seems like a pretty good thing to learn. Stop abusing and mistreating women. Yeah, that's a big one. Number 3, I hate that we have to probably say it again, but apparently it's still a thing, so stop rubbing your genitals on trees and stop having sex with trees.
And maybe stop rubbing your genitals on most things.
Most things.
Probably, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know why you have to rub your genitals on anything, really.
In Thailand or anywhere else for that matter.
Yeah, definitely anywhere else. Like,
Yeah.
I just...
Stop
doing it. Stop rubbing
it.
your shit on shit.
Now you know.
And the more you know.
Alright, we got the creepy out of the way. Now, it's time to have a little bit of fun. Again, as we do every episode, the lovely Queen of the Cove becomes an unwilling participant in a horror movie themed game. For today's episode, we are going to play the game Say My Name, Say My Name. Say my name. This is the game where Autumn, the Queen of the Cove, only gets to see the classic horror movie poster, which is always the best thing to see when you go to a VHS rental store. So the thing that really draws your eye. Don't judge a book by its cover. Bullshit. Covers are really what made me want to rent movies, and these are no exception. So she's only going to see the cover. Everything else is blacked out. She has to try to guess the name of the movie.
I did not do well last time, but I think I have a good feeling about this round.
I think so. She understands how the game works now. And yes, if you saw the live pilot, you're welcome. Okay? So here comes another round of Say My Name. Why don't you slide that first slide?
Okay.
What do you see?
Okay. So we see a jack-o'-lantern face, maybe, and a very angry rocker, He's got a guitar. He's shredding. I gotta go something pumpkin themed, maybe Halloween, but it's not Halloween because I know that movie.
Imagine if this was the cover for Halloween.
Oh man.
Like Michael Myers didn't have the mask; he just had a fucking sick ass flying V guitar.
Oh my god.
Would you like to hear a little about this movie?
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
So it's a 1986 film, American horror film. Okay, starring Mark Price and Tony Fields, with special appearances by Kiss's very own Gene Simmons and Black Sabbath's Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh my.
So you already mentioned there's a rocker in here. Let me give you a little bit of an idea of what the movie's about. So this movie centers around a teenager who is haunted by the ghost of his rock hero.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go. Rock and Gruel.
Rock and Gruel. Rock and Gruel. Okay, a little play on rock and roll.
Yeah.
Why gruel?
It's because
Isn't gruel like that shitty food? Like
it's honestly the only thing I could think of.
Okay. Would it help to know that Mark Price, one of the actors, also was known for his role as Skippy on Family Ties? Does that change your guess?
I don't know why it would.
What about that Tony Fields, the other actor, was also in many of Michael Jackson's music videos, including Thriller? Does that change your answer?
I don't think that it does.
Sticks with rock and gruel?
I think I'm gonna stick with Rock and Gruel.
It is not rock and gruel.
Shit.
Slide that over. It is the 1986 film Trick or Treat.
What?
Very close. But the tagline was close to what you're saying. What are you afraid of? It's only rock and gruel. Or rock and roll.
Damn it.
1986, Trick or Treat. IMDb, 5.8 out of 10. 75% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a pretty damn good score.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Trick or Treat. Not rock and gruel. Worth a watch.
Shit.
Next slide.
Okay.
All right, this is actually one of my favorite 80s horror films.
Okay.
What do you see? What do you see on that poster?
Okay, so there is a severed hand that is ringing a doorbell.
Perfect. There's really not much else to it, right? It's
right,
pretty straightforward.
Right. This makes sense for Trick or Treat, but since I know that that's not correct.
It's not. Any guesses? First thought, best thoughts.
Doorbell ditch.
Doorbell ditch. Okay.
Like a grave ditch.
Sure. So this is a 1986 American comedy horror movie.
Okay.
It stars William Catt and George Wendt. You might know him as Norm from Cheers.
Norm!
Yeah. Norm is in this awesome movie. And it tells the story of a troubled author who lives in his deceased aunt's house and soon falls victim to the house that's being haunted. It actually collected $22.1 million worldwide and was followed by 3 successful sequels. Any ideas?
You know what the shittiest part about this is?
What?
I've seen this movie.
You have seen this movie.
And I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I know it's not Doorbell Ditch.
You going with Doorbell Ditch? Though?
I have to because I don't know what else it could be, but I've seen this movie.
All right, slide it over.
House. Okay. Original. Real fucking original.
Very simple name. This is the classic 1985 comedy horror movie, House.
That is so upsetting.
House. 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. 57% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
God damn.
Tagline, horror has found a new home.
Damn it.
Nice. Next slide, please.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right.
Okay.
What do you see on this horror movie poster?
So there is a very alarmed individual who has his mouth open. There is a kebab being shoved into his mouth like skewer first. Like nothing, not...
That is a great observation.
Yeah.
It is indeed a kebab.
Yeah.
Does he look pleased to have the kebab going into his mouth?
I mean, who would, though, at that point? It's being
I mean,
shoved into his face. It's not him doing it.
I love kebabs.
Me too, but not skewer and, like, deep. Okay. It's like this much skewer before the meat, and his head is here.
Okay. So this is a 1981 slasher film. It stars Melissa Sue Anderson and Glenn Ford. The plot revolves around 6 brutal murders occurring around a popular high school senior's birthday.
What?
It's actually filmed primarily in Canada.
Who has,
and
like,
upstate New York.
Kebabs at their birthday. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and any thoughts? What's your first thought?
I mean, the birthday really threw me. I really thought it was going to be like a 4th of July themed horror. This one's just got me stumped.
Does this help? While not prosecuted for obscenity, the film was seized and confiscated in the United Kingdom under Section 3 of the Obscene Publications Act of 1959 during the Video Nasty Panic. Let's see if this famous tagline from this movie helps.
Okay.
John will never eat shish kebab again.
It's gonna be gross. I don't want to watch this.
What is your gross guess then? What do you got?
Like a... Fuck, I just don't even... I'm blanking here. Everything is like contradictory to what it looks like. Something. Shush something. Shush something.
Shush something.
Shush something.
That's the name of the movie?
Yeah,
something?
Or kebab, and Bob, like the name. Kebab. He's eating a person. Is it kebab?
Just slide it. Happy Birthday to Me.
God damn it, these names are
another simple
stupid.
name. 1981, Happy Birthday to Me, 6.1 IMDb, 20% fresh.
They probably would have gotten more if the name wasn't so fucking stupid.
John will never eat a shish kebab again. Next slide. All right.
Okay.
Look at this one. This is a classic movie. What do you see on this movie poster?
All right. So we have got kind of a lot going on. So first and foremost, we have a cheerleader with a skull, but she's got some under boob showing. She's up in the air. She's got the pom-poms.
She's holding a skull, or she is a skull?
She is a skull.
Gotcha.
Her face is a skull, but her body is not. Her body is
banging.
Fine. Yeah.
Looking good.
But in the background, we have some interesting stuff. We have
What do you see?
A bunch of, like, killers, and then a chicken for some reason, and a bunch of cheerleaders, and somebody hanging out of a barn, and an alligator. Like, a bunch of murderers and, like, things that you would find at a football game.
Okay.
And the underboob is very prominent.
All right, so this is a 1988 American film, American slasher. It was actually the directorial debut of John Quinn. It stars Betsy Russell, the one, the only, Leif Garrett.
Oh.
This film follows a troubled young woman who arrives at blank for a competition where a series of murders begin to occur.
Cheerleader camp. Is that cheer camp?
You tell me?
Cheer camp? Cheer camp. I'm going cheer camp.
Cheer camp.
Yeah.
Would it help to know the tagline of this movie?
Yes. Maybe.
Competition was murder at... ...
Cheer camp. It has to be. If it's not cheer camp, I never want to play this game again.
Slide it.
Cheerleader camp.
I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you points. You technically said cheerleader camp.
I did.
And then
I corrected myself.
Reduced it to cheer camp.
Cheerleader camp isn't right. It is cheerleaders go to cheer camp.
Yep, 1988's cheerleader camp.
Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I don't know
Give me a K, give me an I, give me an L, give me an L.
Okay.
Kill, kill, kill.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Cheerleader camp, 1988, 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. 22% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, probably because it's called cheerleader camp. It's cheer camp. Cheerleaders go to cheer camp.
You're sitting at 1 out of 4 right now.
Okay, I'll take that. That's way more than last time.
It's already better than you did in the pilot, where you got 0.75.
Yeah, and that was iffy at best.
Yeah.
Like I got like a like a
You need to go back and
watch.
watch the pilot to see how she got those points, because it's a beauty. Next slide. Last one.
Oh no!
Is a beauty. Tell us, what do you see on this classic 80s horror movie poster?
Okay, so there is a woman, spread eagle, with, it's not a baby, but it's a small alien maybe coming out of her vagina. You can't see the vagina. It's like her head and then like her body. She is covered a little bit. There's some boob action. She's in pain. And then there are scientists that are horrified. Which, you know, you said 80s?
81?
Yeah.
I hadn't said the exact year, but yes, it's 1981 science fiction horror film produced directed by Norman J. Warren, starring Judy Geeson, Robin Clark, and Stephanie Beacham.
Okay. Hit me with a tagline if you don't mind.
Somewhere in the depths of space, a horrific nightmare is about to become a reality. A far from human birth.
Cletus the fetus.
Cletus the fetus.
Yeah.
Why are you going with Cletus the fetus?
Because she's giving birth, and that's rhyming and fun.
You do like rhymes.
I do. Cletus the fetus.
So this possibly titled movie, Cletus the fetus, is... The plot concerns a group of archaeologists and scientists who are excavating the ruins of an ancient civilization on a distant planet. Sound familiar? After one of the women in the team, Sandy, is raped and impregnated by a monstrous alien creature, maybe named Cletus, she develops psychosis and begins killing her colleagues one by one.
Jesus Christ.
Mutilating them, and your favorite, eating their flesh.
So I will say I think Cletus the fetus might be wrong. However, I think Cletus the fetus is a good name.
Do you?
I think maybe if it was like a horror comedy.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the scores on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. You tell me if Cletus the fetus would get such scores. Yeah.
Okay.
IMDb, 3.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 14% fresh.
I mean, with a name like Cletus the fetus, you would get way more, I think.
All right, slide it. Inseminoid! 1981 classic science fiction horror, Inseminoid.
Okay.
Not Cletus the fetus.
Although, if anybody wants to make Cletus the fetus, we'll work on it.
Call her. I want no part in that.
Inseminoid is I will say, a better name for what this...
For what's going on that poster.
Premise is.
It makes a little more sense.
Yeah, I stick with Cletus the fetus as a good name. I stick with that.
She sticks with it, guys.
Yeah.
Even though it is a wrong answer. And out of 5, 1.
Hey,
1 out of 5. Hey, she's getting better, guys.
Improvements. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. And that wraps up this round of Say My Name, Say My Name.
Say my name.
Thank you. All right, creeps. Now, on the topic of horror films, it is time for this episode's Dark Paradise horror movie recommendation. Now, Thailand has a rich history in film, especially when it comes to the horror film genre. Now, we went with something we'd never heard of. Took a chance. We did a couple Google searches, and we found top 5 best horror movies coming out of Thailand right now, and we chose 2010's Still. It's actually available for streaming right now, for free on Netflix, if you either have an account or you know one of any 13 people in your little, friend group. You could probably hit us up. We'll probably give you the password. 2010's Still from Thailand. Enjoy this trailer.
ำก็สะอาดอะไรก็ดีไปหมดเลย
จริงสิ ที่ห้องนี้นะ มีผู้หญิงถูกฆ่าตายมันเฮี้ยนด้วยนะ โดนปาดคอ ตัดเอ็นขาขาด
ใครวะ All right, that was 2010's Still. Again, available for free, streaming on Netflix. What'd you think of this movie?
So it was an anthology.
Which she loves.
I love anthology. It breaks up the spooky. It's not like constant 2 hours straight of spooky.
That's right. It had a haunted hotel. It had a body in a water tank. It had a nightclub fire, much like the one we talked about in the pilot about the Filipino disco that burned down, and a prison death that comprises this horror anthology, all pulled directly from actual gruesome headlines from Thailand.
Yeah. I enjoyed a good majority of the movie.
Yeah. There were definitely some parts that were, how do you say, too much for the Queen of the Cove.
Yes.
Maybe we should just show some footage on your experience with Still. What do you say? Enjoy.
You don't look good. Oh no. Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, dude! A lot of build up in the story. It's like immediately into like the deep shit. Oh no. Don't do that. It's a little bit infuriating that there's so much fire in an enclosed space. Oh my god! What are you doing? You're just standing there, like... What? I don't understand. Why are we watching 2 separate movies?
It's an anthology.
Is it? Is it really? Ew. I thought something else was happening. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Ripping off a deaf dude? That's not cool. Oh, maybe don't do that though. Oh my god! don't. For the love of God, don't put it in your mouth. Here's the problem I have with this one now. Why is she haunting him? Oh, gross. Don't do that. Nope.
So yeah, there you go. Grand totals for the Queen of the Cove's experience with Still 2010 from Thailand. There were 15 ear covers, if you counted them. There were 3 gags, and yes or no, did this movie make you vomit?
It did.
It most certainly did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're into that, throwing up while watching movies, would you recommend Still?
Sure, if you want to vomit hard, definitely watch Still.
Yeah, there was actually, in one of the stories, we couldn't finish the whole thing because she was too busy vomiting, so we had to fast forward past that one. I might revisit.
Yeah, you can revisit.
Yeah.
I will not
Yeah.
be revisiting.
So your overall score, let's go out of 10. What would you give Still?
So it still gets extra points because it was an anthology, which I really, really like. I'm going to go 6.3.
Wow. That's generous.
Yeah, but again, only because it was an anthology, which helped a lot.
Enough to get it over the hump of 6. That's huge.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
6 point what, sorry?
6.3. It was watchable for most of it was watchable for me. So like the anthology breaks it up, so it's not like I'm like crawling in my own skin, want to leave the room, because it's like, however long the stories are, it's much shorter.
6.3. Okay.
Yeah, you get real big points with me if you're an anthology.
Yeah, okay.
Because the acting wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
The storylines were...
Yeah, it wasn't overly scary. A lot of it was just kind of like shock and awe kind of stuff. There wasn't a lot of jump scares.
No. There was in the first one.
Yeah, the color palette on the filming was nice. I enjoyed that aspect of it. It wasn't breaking any new ground.
No.
I didn't find any of it really scary. I'm going to go honest with it and give it a 2.8. I don't really recommend it unless you enjoy vomiting.
Which I don't. But again, you get massive points if you're an anthology. Because I don't want to sit and scare for that long without something to break it up. I will say, like, the development of the stories for an anthology even wasn't great, right? Like, the first one was highly confusing. The second one was just... mind-blowing.
And the third one was disgusting.
Yeah.
And the fourth one, they tried to do the comedy horror shtick, and I don't think they pulled it off well. And so it is in Taiwanese? Thai. They speak Thai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's Thai. But yes.
So I wonder if the language barrier maybe made, like, the comic not come
It is
off?
subtitled, and I would say quite poorly, which kind of adds to the comedic element, unfortunately.
Yes.
But doesn't enhance the viewing experience in any way.
Sure.
I don't think I recommend this movie. What did I give it? A 2.8?
Yeah.
2.8 and a 6.3.
I did give it a 6.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, friends. That's Still 2010, available on Netflix now. If you want to take the chance on it, who knows? You guys might enjoy it.
You might vomit.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode, friends. We are now done with Thailand.
For now.
Yeah, for now. I mean, there's just too much good creepiness in that country. We will most certainly be revisiting and touching base with those awesome stories. But we hope you enjoyed today's tale, The Spirit of the Banana Tree. We also hope you enjoyed today's Tanduay sponsored cocktail, the Sorry, we don't serve that here. Speaking of Tanduay, if you don't have Tanduay available to you in the city where you live, or the state where you live, you need to demand it. You need to talk to your liquor distributors. You need to talk to your bar owners. You need to say, hey, dummy, why aren't you carrying Tanduay rum?
It's hostile.
Okay. Maybe don't come at them that way. Just maybe say, hey, please, pretty please, carry this distinctly Filipino rum that has been making this delicious rum for over 100 years. It is also the best-selling rum in the entire world. Why don't you have it? It's that easy. Demand Tanduay Rum. Drink Tanduay Rum. Also, support the Luau Lads. These Florida bartenders are now taking over the tiki community down there. They are making their own Orgeat. They're making their own falernum. They're hosting pop-ups. They're doing charity events. Support small business. Support the Luau Lads. Check them out. luaulads.com. While you're on the internet, check out surfsidesips.com. Reusable glass straws, guys. Embrace the sustainable lifestyle. Ditch the plastic and add some class with glass. You know, if you actually go to luaulads.com or surfsidesips.com and you use the coupon code DARKP20, that's DARKP20, you're going to get 20% off your entire order at checkout.
It's foolish not to.
It's foolish not to. It's foolish not to drink Tanduay, and it's foolish not to take advantage of these coupon codes. DARKP20, 20% off at checkout. So, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you to you.
Thank you.
All of you Tiki Creeps for tuning in to this official first episode of Dark Paradise. We look forward to seeing you again. Who knows what country we'll be in next time, but we guarantee it's going to be spooky. Until then, stay creepy.
And do that tiki.
Thanks, friends.